All right, there we go. I was waiting for the indication of live. Okay.
We're live. We're live, man. What's up, baby?
Air EnB episode 5. What's
Yes.
going on, Earl?
Yes,
Out in
sir.
San Fran, as
Yo.
I am B in New
Yes.
York. What's going on, Earl?
Man, it's just been a lot of craziness in the world, man. We're going to talk a little bit about the weather and just what's happening out here. But just like, yeah, we've had some crazy wildfires in Northern California and Southern California as well, too. So much so that Malibu had to be evacuated. Pretty much all the communities in that area had to be evacuated because it was a crazy wildfire. And there's one 180 miles northeast of the Bay Area, so outside of Oakland, San Francisco. They called the campfire. Started. I'm not really sure how it started. They're all kind of investigating it right now, but they're trying to, put everything together and try to see, what started. But they think it's a faulty power line that sparked this fire. And pretty much, I think it's been 100,000 acres burnt down already. And pretty much, I think it's spreading at the rate of like 2 football fields per minute or something crazy like that, or 8 football fields. Yeah, so it's pretty wild out here, man. We're wearing masks and we're essentially just trying to just survive. It's like it's toxins in the air, so it's
Now, can you actually smell the toxins in the air? Like is it like something you never felt before? Like you feel harmful or that's harmful?
Basically, the way I could describe it as, it's like, if you've ever gone camping, or you've ever been like at a bonfire or something, right? And imagine, just that campfire smell is constantly in the air, but it's also a combination of the campfire smell with also like people, the fire being put out. So you're talking about like that it just lingers and it's heavy in the air, and it's to the point where it's like, there's a combination of haze and fog and there's smoke. And it's like, it's so thick in the air that like, the sun we have these crazy sunsets because of just like the sun is like red and orange because of just like it's refracting through the light, or the sunlight is refracting through the smoke, excuse me. And so, it's the reality of California, man. It just doesn't rain out here. So it's one of the benefits for a lot of times, but it's also dangerous in these situations. So,
wow, man.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Well, and you did send me some pictures too on how crazy it was out there, man. And over here, let me tell you, and we were going to do the show last night.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, because the viewers don't know, and I just want to say this too. Hopefully we will gain more subscribers and more viewers and listeners, everything like that. But we do have 4 subscribers right now on the YouTube.
Okay. Got to start somewhere, right? Start small and build it big.
That's right. And if you think about it, we've had 4 shows, so we're gaining a subscriber a show. So at the 100 show mark, we should have 100 subscribers. Easy.
That's the plan.
That's what we're rolling. But I want to thank these 4 subscribers, and I'll tell you why too. On a serious note, they must have the notifications on, and anybody who has a podcast or vodcast like what we do or whatnot, they'll all tell you that when people have the notifications on, it makes a big difference. So. And I'm saying they must have it on, because as soon as this show is clipped, as soon as I clip it and the show is done and it goes straight to the YouTube and whatnot, it's already viewed. So it must be those subscribers and whatnot, and the Twitter as well. So I want to say thank you to the subscribers out there and the ones who are clicking from Twitter as well.
Yeah, thank you guys, man. Yeah, it's a fun little thing that we do, right? It's kind of like just kind of living the dream, so to speak. Like we both love sports and the ability to talk it. It's a fun thing we love to do, and we hope our viewers do enjoy it. And so if you have any commentary on what we could do to make it better, we would love that as well too. Feedback is great. So I love that we're doing this, and we're going to continue to keep doing this. Like Brent said, until we get to that 100 show, until we get to that 500 show, it's going to be crazy by that point. So
yeah, and you know, and I'm loving it. And I want to do this for a living. I'm working on it, and I guess I must. I need to reveal something here.
Okay, what's up? What's
All
up?
right. So I applied to a talk show host position
Okay.
in the city. It's
Okay.
going from what they're talking, they can't tell specifics, all this stuff like that. But it's gonna, you know, it's gonna hit a TV station. They're asking for a lot of days a week, though. It is the
Okay.
evening, so I got to find out why you would need me there basically every weekday.
Okay. Okay.
But it's sports, it's urban culture, it's a little politics, and you know, music, food, things like that.
It's also bad.
Fits into my wheelhouse. The only part is the pop culture, you know, the pop stuff. That's a little bit out of my realm, but I sent one of the clips from this show there.
That's awesome.
And with that clip and my resume, I made it to the second round now.
There you go, man.
The second round is creating. I got the email earlier. It's creating a mock show.
Okay.
So to speak. So I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do this, but that is good news.
That's great news. Great news, man.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens there, and it's apparently going to be decent money as well, so that's good for on the side and something to kick off. I will say I'm excited, but I'm not really excited because, and I think you can figure this one out. It's not all sports, so that's the thing.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're going to be well versed enough, and I'm actually just looking at these Knicks. Still holding on to their lead. Looks like it's 109-100. Fourth quarter, 7:22 to go in the fourth. You know, I think it's one of those things you're going to figure out. You know, if the money's good, you're going to be able to kind of figure some other things out. And I hope it works out for you. I hope they like the show. Sounds like the clip worked out really well for you. And dude, we're gonna
Well, don't worry. I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to talk to you off air because I may need to use you.
Okay, as a reference, we'll talk about that later.
Not as a reference. You may actually, I may have to force you and pull you to be a part of it.
Well,
to be a part of the mock. They want a dialogue back and forth, and this is an easy film, and I might do that. Of course, we have great chemistry, so that's the other thing. But we'll see down the line. But getting back to the issue here at hand. All I know is there was a few coworkers that left at 4:00. At 7:00, they had gotten 4 exits down, which was the equivalent of about 20 minutes of drive time. 3 hours. Okay. One left at like 3:30 yesterday, and his place is about 50 minutes to an hour away. He got home at 10:30 at night. What I didn't get was it wasn't just, you know, areas of Westchester, New York.
Right.
That's it. It was all of New York City. It was Westchester County. It was New Jersey.
Dutchess, Rockland, all of them, right?
All the way up there. It was Connecticut.
Yeah. It's what I don't miss about the East Coast, man. I mean, yeah, sure, we have our own issues between earthquakes and wildfires, but I'll take those because those happen, you know, every now and again. But, you know, I just that random snowstorm really jams things up, you know, like getting to work is a hassle, getting to a restaurant, getting food sometimes is a hassle, right? So you really have to be prepared for these kind of scenarios where, from what I heard, it was supposed to be only about 1 inch, and it sounded like you guys got it about 7 inches. So
no, actually, see, even that was nonsense.
Really?
We had like 3 to 4 inches, and it was rain too, so it was a bunch of slush. And okay, this will sum it up for you. There was a coworker that had left, And an hour later, I seen her again. And I said, well, wait a second. You left an hour ago. What happened? She said, I got around the block in an hour. So she came in, parked the car, wow. Came back up and made arrangements to get a hotel, which all of them were booked. But let me tell you, it was a parking lot. And for that little bit of snow, and de Blasio made an announcement earlier, and he said that it was the perfect storm and whatnot. Yeah, you bet. You guys, you weren't prepared. You didn't sand the roads, and it was a complete disaster for everybody. It was insane yesterday.
Wow.
It was absolutely insane. After I saw that coworker come back, you know what I did.
You made the call?
What do you mean by making the call?
I mean, you tell me.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I didn't even tell you what I did. I got my belongings. I got my butt walking, and I went straight to the train station.
There you go.
I left at 7:30. I was on my couch watching the NFL at 8:30.
Wow.
And that's including walking time to and from the station there and the station in my hometown.
Were you dressed for those conditions? Did you have the Timbs on and the long johns, et cetera, et cetera?
No, I mean, actually, let me tell you. No, I just had jeans. I had jeans and Bo Jacksons on.
Oh, and, wow.
Yeah, I had the cross trainers on. And I'll tell you what saved me. Okay. Another gig that I got going on right now is actually hosting like bar trivia. Okay. And this company's like really high on me. It's just something to do for fun. Okay. You know, as a little hosting gig. It's not much money, but it's local, right? So, and also I'm getting them spots. Like I'm trying to hook them up with Spectators and New Rochelle, things like that, sports. Well, as I was leaving, she had texted me and she emailed me. That's right. And we're not on the friendly basis yet, still in the interviewing process.
That's correct.
But she had emailed me and she said, can we have the phone interview earlier because of the impending storm? I need to pick up my son from school.
Yeah.
So I said, okay. And I was like, what storm? I was like, because I'm the worst. I never check and all that. Okay. So as I left, I grabbed a little raincoat, as you will. One of them little slick, not a raincoat, but one of them little slick things where the water just comes off, but it's still stylish. One of them things. Okay, so I grabbed one of those. So that saved me on the walk. But it was brick, and I had on a Giants fitted or something, and so the ears were red, man. You know,
wild man,
crazy,
wild man, right there.
Yeah,
Rowdy B.
yeah, man. It's just, oh man. So that's that, and it's crazy with the wildfires going on out there. And I mean, you seen the news about last night, and I've been seeing the news about weeks of these wildfires now.
Yeah. It's been pretty. It's probably supposedly we're gonna get some rain next Thursday. Literally, it's gonna be the first time we've had rain since this past February.
Wow.
So like that's just how it is out here in California, man. It's just you're talking about 8, 9, 10 months sometimes where it just doesn't rain. There's a potential that it could be a really rainy season this year. Supposed to be like another El Nino, which happened, every few years. Yeah. I mean, listen, we need as much rain as possible though, because we're still lagging. I mean, I've been here. It's going to be six years in December. You're talking about like, I've maybe had one rainy winter, but since then, I've been out here for 6 years. I don't have an umbrella. Like you said, a little slick rain jacket. You just wipe yourself off. That's it. And so it's the benefit of living out here.
Wipe yourself off, man.
Wipe me down.
Well, I was making a Friday reference there.
That's right. That's right.
I just rewatched those Rush Hours. Well,
Man.
one and a half or two. Oh man, it's hilarious, man.
Good stuff. Yeah.
Don't give me that piece of the chicken. I don't want that piece of the chicken. Oh man, and it's Michael Jackson stuff. All right, we're getting too far.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lot to talk about, right? So
we got a lot here. Okay, we got a lot here. But we're gonna condense it, right? So let's see. It's 10:09 right now. What time are you trying to finish?
Can we do 7:30, 7:40? Or excuse me, 10:30, 10:40?
I like it. Okay, so let's move quick. Quick one. I got a bunch of stuff to do tomorrow and tomorrow evening, which we'll talk off air.
Okay.
All right. So, okay. Last show, you made a comment to me. I almost had a heart attack live on air.
Okay.
I fell back in the seat. Okay. It's actually, if you want to see what happened, you can check out the clip that I cut that's on the YouTube that says Airbnb interruption of the EnB broadcast. By the way, that's the clip I sent to this host thing.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Which I guess they liked. And we were just getting into a comment before the Airbnb interruption. And then we said we'd talk about it on the next show.
Okay.
Since you made the comment, I'm going to let you go first.
Okay. Well, remind me. I want you to remind me of this comment.
I'm going to remind you right now.
Okay.
But you said that Russell Wilson reminds you he's in Eli Manning is now in the Russell Wilson category to you. Please explain how you are comparing these two quarterbacks.
Okay. Give me a second to explain. They are not the same style quarterback. So let's get that clear. Let's clear the
No, I
air.
know you didn't mean that. You know
you know what I
I know you didn't mean that.
What I meant was when I look at guys such as like a Tom Brady, or you look at any quarterback that's kind of one, let's say Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning never really had the kind of a defense that, let's say, a Russell Wilson or even Eli those 2 years had. Okay, and I pose this question to you off air as well too, because at the time that the Giants drafted Phillip Rivers, or excuse me, they got Eli Manning in that draft, I said that I posed a question to you. I said, literally, how many do you think that Phillip Rivers could have had an opportunity to win more championships with this Giants team? Because you look at it, and I look at a guy like Phillip Rivers, he's still performing at a high level right now. And I just feel like they're now starting to get the weapons around him. And the defense is really the most impressive part about the Chargers. So we're really starting to see it line up where it's like, okay, Phillip is playing his best when they have the weapons. They're protecting him with the O-line. And the defense has a lot of guys that are just playing tremendous right now. And so now you have the opportunity to see what Phillip can do with a great team. They're 7-2 right now, pretty much the same age, I think. So
they gotta be, yeah.
Right. And so I said that comment with basically meaning that Russell Wilson and Eli Manning are the same, where I feel like I'm going to eat those words a little bit because I watched Russell's game yesterday against the Green Bay Packers.
I know, that's why I was hoping we could have went live yesterday. But go ahead.
I was impressed by several throws that he had.
So was I.
Aaron Rodgers had a couple of throws as well too that were just amazing. He's amazing. But Russell Wilson really impressed me with some throws in tight windows and just even throws that he was on the run and just throws you don't see quarterbacks making. But again, going back to the reference, I'm saying that they're the same quarterback that I don't trust him to take you all the ways to, like, you know, but offensively as like a Drew Brees or Peyton Manning. What I look at them as they need that defense and they need that running game in order to support them. And I know every quarterback does, but you can't tell me that Tom Brady has had an elite defense, maybe in those earlier Super Bowls, but even then, I wouldn't say they were elite.
Okay, well, this is a different discussion when you get to Brady, but no, he did. He had an amazing defense, and the first Super Bowl was all centered around that defense with Teddy Bruschi and the stealing of signs and the Rams not being able, allegedly, they did get penalized for it. So I guess I could say that because that's like a conviction. I can say that openly. But
right.
They couldn't move the ball until in the second half they changed the playbook. So you come to your own conclusion on that one. Okay. But Brady in that first Super Bowl only made like 2 throws, three plays that that were the second one. I mean, the first, to be honest with you, the first 3. They had an incredible defense, man.
Yeah,
they really did. I mean, they had guys that can get
incredible, or they had guys that were a little more recognizable than their guys that they have currently. So, like for instance, Rodney Harrison, we know. They also had Vince Wilfork. They also had the name slips me now, but he's the defensive tackle that was traded to the Oakland Raiders. I thought, they could have easily milked him for another couple of years. His name really does escape me right now, but he was a defensive tackle that was.
Oh my gosh, I can't remember either.
Pretty top. Was it Seymour maybe?
I'm not positive.
I want to say it was Seymour, but I could be wrong. Let's not.
And then when the running game was more prevalent in the NFL, they had Teddy Bruschi, a linebacker, who was an excellent leader. Yeah. But let's get back to let's get back.
So I want to hear. I want to hear your criticism of my comment.
Well, you really didn't make a great argument for why Russell's close to. You really just asked me Phillip Rivers. Now the thing is, I could dismiss Phillip Rivers. Right? Is Phillip Rivers an excellent quarterback? Yes. Will he be a Hall of Famer? I think so. A borderline. He's one of those borderline guys. I think I wouldn't be upset.
I think him and Eli are not first ballot Hall of Famers. I think they're second, third, maybe even fourth ballot Hall of Famers. And there's
stop it. Come on.
There's no offense to that. No.
Fourth ballot?
Eli's not even. He's close to not being a 500 quarterback.
Well, but that's because of the last 2 seasons.
Last 2, Brett. No, it's about the last 8 seasons. The last 8 seasons, really.
No, what are you talking about?
They went to the playoffs.
What the heck are you talking about?
Once in the last 7 seasons.
Dude, he's only had a losing season, I think, 3 times.
No, let's go back.
They had the 7-9. You're gonna make me pull this up right now. They had the 7-9, and then they had the 2. They had the 2 years. This is most likely going to be a losing season. And they had last year. And what are you talking about? 8 losing seasons.
How many years have they
had nothing but winning seasons his whole career?
Besides the 2 years he won the Super Bowl, how many years would you say they've made the playoffs? One other time?
They had. Okay, listen. You had the one just 2 years ago.
I got that.
That was not a losing season.
I got that.
They were probably 9 and. They were probably. Oh no, they were 11-5. Like, dude, what are you talking about? Okay, that was recent.
Pull up the numbers. I want you to pull up their record within the last 10 years.
Okay, put it to you like this. If I am correct, if you throw away these last 2 seasons, Eli's record is 109-81. Okay, when you put these 2 seasons together. That's what makes it so bad, but they're rebuilding and going for draft picks. You're making me sweat over here. I gotta pull up these. I gotta.
I'm pulling.
You go ahead. Okay, so you're going ahead. All right, I gotta wipe my head and get to these.
Please.
I gotta pull up the, okay, are you pulling up the seasons?
Get yourself together, okay? So
wait. His first year, he went 8-8.
Okay.
Everything else was winning seasons until recent time. What do you got? I'm going to turn it to you. What do you got?
All right. So you're talking about, 2013, 7-9, 2014, 6-10, 2015, 6-10. All right. So, 11-5.
No. Start from the beginning. Start from the 8-8.
I mean, the beginning.
Go ahead. All right. Go ahead.
Okay. All right.
Don't go backwards. Go forward. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So, 2006, 8-8, lost to the Eagles. 2007, NFL champions. I get that.
Wait. I think, no. He was. Didn't Eli come in 2004 or am I bugging?
Was it 2004? It might have been.
Well, Kurt Warner started the first like 6 games and then turned it over to him.
That's true.
Okay, so forget the first season, but go ahead. So you have,
right.
But I want every year though. Or did he come over?
I'll give it to you right now. 2004, he was 6-10. We'll say that was cumulative between him and Kirk Warner.
He was 6-10, but the Giants were 8-8, I think. All right, go ahead. Oh no, that doesn't make sense. All right, go ahead.
2005, 11-5. They lost to the Panthers. 8-8 the next year.
Lost to the Panthers in the playoffs?
Yes.
Okay, so that's a playoff year. Go ahead.
Okay. Lost to the Eagles. They were actually third in NFC East.
What was the record though that year?
8-8.
8-8. Lost to the Eagles.
Yes,
second playoff appearance. Okay.
Right. Third year. I get it. I don't fault him for it.
Name the records though, because
2007, 10-6. Okay. Second in the NFC East, and they were the NFL champions, and they won on the road all those games. So I get that. I don't take that away from him. But again, elite defenses, elite.
Oh, I think the first well, it doesn't really matter, but I think the first game they were at home. I think it was against the gosh, I forget. It skips me.
The Buccaneers, maybe.
You're right. It was the Bucs. Good memory. Yeah. I think they might have been home, but who cares though? We know that the second Super Bowl was all road wins. But go ahead.
Okay, that's right. So 2008, 12-4, first in the NFC East, they lost to the Eagles that year. 2009, 8-8, third in the NFC East, no playoffs. 2010, again, great record. Nobody's knocking him for this. 10-6, and he was second in the NFC East. Okay, 2011, we're looking at the 9-7. That was the year that he really came together, and he really had. A lot of the wins towards the end of that season, they were really hot. So I remember that year, and that was a great year for him. But again, 9-7 is not a great record. But yes, that was the year that they went all on the road, beat all those teams. It was the Falcons, Packers, Niners, and Patriots in that order. So.
Oh, I think they beat the Cowboys too.
No, that was in 2007.
So they didn't face the Cowboys in that second run, huh?
That's correct. That's correct.
And you know what? You're right, because the NFC Championship, that was when I forget the name of that kicker, but it went into overtime, I believe, and then they won by a field goal, and that's when the kicker, you can read his mouth saying, "We're going to the MFing Super Bowl."
That's right. That's right. That's right. Right. So okay,
that was a brutal game too.
That was a great year, man. That was a wild. I was not expecting to be Super Bowl champs that year.
And, I got a good point. I got a good point with that too.
Okay.
That was the 9-7, right?
Yeah.
That was the 90s. Okay.
Yeah.
That proves that he took a mediocre team that was not even having a good year, turned around that mediocre team, and got hot all the way, won all those road games, and beat Tom Brady once again. That's an example of not a great team that he won with.
Again, I think if you look at it again on paper, the defensive unit was totally elite at that point.
They couldn't have been that good if they were 9-7.
Yeah, but you're talking about there could have been a lot of injuries. I don't have the numbers in front of me, and it looks like the Knicks are about to lose this game. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I can promise you that the defense was not 100% healthy at the beginning, and then what happened was that they literally just had a great run towards the end, and Eli was playing lights out during that.
As he always does.
But no, that's not true, because you're talking about at the end
it is true.
He was
the postseason, or just like on Monday.
Okay, well, we can't say that. We can't say that because it was only 2 postseasons where he balled out. The other ones, he didn't come to play, and nor did his teammates. So I'm going to keep going. This is where it keeps getting dry, right? So after 20,
hold on. You can't skip over him not being a clutch quarterback. What was your example of him not being a clutch quarterback?
So we're talking about the parts around him were so great around that.
We're talking about offensive side of the football. Offensive side.
So the offensive side was good, but again, there was nobody on there that was good.
No, I thought you were saying he wasn't a clutch performer because he's one of the.
I'm not necessarily saying that, but what I'm saying is that I look at the defensive parts around him, and not I saying that he only plays on one side of the ball, but Michael Strahan, Umenyiora, Tuck, The linebackers were pretty good as well too.
Yeah,
they had Antrell Roll. These guys were
Antonio Pierce.
Those were great players for that team, man.
Okay, so you know what? Let's take away from Joe Montana then, because he had excellent defenses as well. Can we do that? Can we take away from Montana?
Listen,
and while we're at it, now
you're talking about a different kind of quarterback.
Oh, well, no, you're talking about because of the defensive side of the ball, we have to take credit away from the offensive side of the ball, right? So in that regards, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's take 2 chips away from Roethlisberger, because in that first Super Bowl he was terrible. Let's do that, and let's take away Brady's first example.
Where have they been since they've had those elite defenses? Have they made it back to the Super Bowl? No.
You talking about Pittsburgh or the Giants?
Correct. Yeah, Pittsburgh.
I don't understand Mike Tomlin's play calling, so I will say that there was, there's been several games that they've needed for playoff runs that he screwed up with these weird things like going for 2 and whatnot. But yes, when that Palomalu defense left, they have not been the same. But also Roethlisberger, just like when you see guys like Allen Iverson, Dwayne Wade, a Roethlisberger, any other quarterback that gets RG3, Steve Young, Michael Vick, that these quarterbacks that get hit a lot, and Roethlisberger would just try to fight you off like he was, like Donovan McNabb, territory. He was, that was another one. When you knew that he was going to pay for it on the back end of his career. Has Ben been the same quarterback? No. Has Eli been the same quarterback? Yeah, Eli's been the same.
Give me 1 second, Brad. I gotta blow my nose, my brother.
Oh, don't worry. I can see you doing that. I should put you on camera. That's what I should do. As Earl gets his big behind up to go blow his nose. He told me before the show we were about to go on air. He said, "Man, I am feeling sniffly." I said, "Dude, yesterday was the same deal for me, but I ramped up my green tea. I ramped up my lemon." And I ramped up my honey and fought the battle. And today I'm feeling great. I'm just sweating. I should open a window up in here, but I didn't know that Earl was going to get me so pissed and so and so mad talking about my boy Eli Manning. Okay, but Eli has not shown that he cannot make these throws. Okay, Eli has not shown me anything to tell me, oh, he's slipping, he's faltering, he's not making these moves. The last time he was in the playoffs, which was 2 years ago, I said it before, I'll say it again. He was the best player on that field. And if it wasn't for Shepard dropping passes and Beckham dropping passes, they could have beat the Packers. Because why? When the lights are bright, there are certain players that perform at a higher level and their best level. Okay? We already know the Michael Jordans. We already know the Magic Johnsons. We already know the Joe Montanas.
Please stop with that comparison of this guy. Please, you're
listen.
You're not putting him in the same class.
Listen. When he beat that undefeated Patriots team that nobody else can beat,
it was 6 sacks from the defense with the timely sacks.
He isn't okay. So when Scottie Pippen steals the ball, we got to take that away from Jordan, right? When let's take away the Super Bowl where your boy Russell Wilson threw an interception on the goal line to the Pats because. I forget his name already. They jettisoned him after the last Super Bowl they lost. But
Marshawn Lynch?
No, the cornerback.
Oh, the cornerback, Malcolm Butler.
My man. That's why it's EnB. catching my sweat today, boy. This is what you're doing to me. This is what you're doing to me.
Getting you hot today.
This is what you're doing to me, man. Let's
go back to the numbers.
Let's take away the credit from Brady and say he was not a clutch performer because his defense won that Super Bowl.
The problem is that he's already done it. He's already doubled the amount that Eli's had. Listen, he's got 5.
Oh, Brady's a better quarterback, man. I'm not saying it's not even a comparison between the two, but in crunch time, who is Eli's wins against in the Super Bowl? It's against the man that you are praising right now as one of the greatest ever. It's the man you just hyped up couldn't beat Eli twice. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. You see. Listen, the grass is green. It's cut green grass. Don't say there's brown spots in it. You know what I'm saying? Look what he's done. You know what he's done? He's changed history in the NFL. He had made Belichick and Brady mortal.
Okay.
Mortal. Okay. All right.
So, I'm going to get back to the numbers then. So 2012, 97 season, that's fine. Missed the playoffs that year. I think the Cowboys were really hot that year. I think they won in 2012 in the NFC East. 2013, this is where the numbers start going down. 2013, 7-9. 2014, 6-10. 2015, 6-10. 2016 was a nice little turnaround, 11-5.
A nice little turnaround, 11-5.
All right.
Yeah.
Loss to the Packers. The current record, last year's record, 3-13.
What about what about this, Earl? If we're giving the defense credit when he wins Super Bowls and when he has very good numbers, why are we not blaming the defense when there's a bad defense? You don't think that's attributed to these losses?
What I would say is attributed to is that these guys are out on the field way too long. And I think what happens is that you look at any defense, a tired defense is not going to have the ability to close out games. And I think basically what's happened is that.
All right, do we blame the offensive line?
Way too long. And so the parts that are strong on the Giants, they're burnt out by the time the fourth quarter's there. So
that's not on the offensive line because they have to go to quick passes because they don't give time for Eli. No, that's Eli's fault, right?
I'm not. I understand your point here, but what I'm saying is that there's quarterbacks. I would also say that Aaron Rodgers, when you look at him, he doesn't necessarily have a great O-line, but he has the mobility. And I'm not going to blame Eli for not having the mobility. But what I'm saying is that the quarterbacks that have the ability to extend the play are the quarterbacks that succeed in this NFL, because you look at the speed on the defensive side, these guys have to run away from and kind of create their plays. You look at a guy like Patrick Mahomes. I know I'm going with a different quarterback right now, but Mahomes
I was going to use him as an example.
He's special because of his ability to extend the play and keep his eyes down the field and hit the guy 30, 40, 50 yards on the move. Eli doesn't do that.
Wait. So you're saying that Patrick Mahomes right now is a better quarterback than Eli Manning?
Yes.
We may have to shut down the show. I don't know if I can continue. I don't know if I can continue.
Yes.
You're telling me a guy with 8 games in the NFL is better than Eli Manning?
I would take if you're asking me the question, if I'm building a team, what quarterback do I want?
Come on, man. Don't cop out. When you're talking about 37 years old versus 22 years old, we're talking about a 15-year defense of the difference. No. Yeah. Are you saying that Patrick Mahomes is better? You looked at Eli's body of work and you looked at Patrick Mahomes' body of work, and you concluded that right now.
That's not even a fair comparison.
I know that. You're saying off of half. You're the one who brought up Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, what I'm saying is that
off of half a season, he's a better quarterback than Eli Manning.
I'm going to take this half season and take it to the bank and say this has a potential of being a hit, and I want Patrick Mahomes to be my quarterback. Yes, that is what I'm saying right now.
No. Then you're just talking about age. When I'm asked, that's just like saying who would I? That's just like saying who would I take right now if I was rebuilding a team?
But it's
would
just
I take,
so that's just hard for me to do.
Hold on. Would I take? Hold on. Let me finish my point.
All right,
Would I take Karl Anthony Towns or LeBron? Of course, I'm taking Karl Anthony Towns if I'm rebuilding a team right now. Yeah. Is he better than LeBron? No, that's not the question I asked you. What I'm telling, listen, if you don't think that Patrick Mahomes has an excellent offensive line, if you don't think that he has amazing weapons, okay, I don't know what you're looking at. Is he an amazing talent? I mean, it's getting to the point where I can't even watch these games in the third quarter because it's just a blowout. But if this guy was behind the Giants' offensive line, you think that maybe they'd have one more win? I mean, okay, so he's going to run for his life. Okay, so he's running. Who is he finding? You know what I'm saying? You don't think these passes are going to get picked off?
Yeah.
You think if you're running right and left and all these passes, they're not going to get taken to the house? Okay, Eli's. I couldn't believe it when I seen it. And it was the one thing that I forgot to write down. And I'm going to go through my numbers right now. But I forgot to write this down. Okay, but do you know that Eli is tops in the league, okay, in
interceptions?
No, not in interceptions, dude. He's actually in the bottom part of the league in interceptions thrown. That's the talent I'm talking about. But this season? This season, dude. You can look it up while I'm talking. Actually, if you can get the numbers while I'm talking, get most intos in the league. Get the interceptions in the league. He is tops in yardage, actually, man. Yardage and completions.
Yeah, I get it.
The problem is the problem is they're not getting touchdowns. And you got to understand, he's tops in yardage. He's tops in a pass completion, but he gets sacked the most in the league. And he's on the low end in interceptions. That's experience. Okay, and that's why they don't want to throw these rookies in here. That's why they probably went with Barkley over Darnold, because to put somebody like that, to put a rookie behind this offensive line, what you have to do is you have to be able to read blitz coverage and defenses, something that comes with time. And these young guys, they can't do it. So what Eli is doing is he's looking and he's saying, okay, I think they're going heavy box. I think this guy is going to stay. He's not going to drop back. I'm counting. Okay, I'm going to throw here. I'm looking at my knowledge on a different play. You know what? I think they're going weak box. I'm going to hand it off to Barkley. And that's why they're doing a lot. They're not just doing the shotgun because he's going to get killed in 2 seconds. He's also doing the shotgun to try to fool. So he gets the ball in the shotgun. Okay, light box, I'm going to pass it off. Heavy box, okay, I'm going to go for the pass. That's what he's doing. And you know what's a crazy stat too? Barkley gets hit quicker than any running back in the league.
I know.
After handoff.
Yeah, and you can see it. I watched the games where it's like, you know what, his rushing average is great because he rips off like a good 1 or 2 a game where it's like it's a great 30, 40-yard run, right? But if you really look at it, like the combined, his average, per rush, you really talk about a guy that's only probably doing about 3 yards because the offensive line isn't creating any gaps. And so you're asking really this amazing talent to kind of create his own holes and make his own situations. And it's a tough ask, even for, a guy as talented as Saquon is. And I think that's the point I'm also saying. It's like, so we're saying that Eli just doesn't have the time to get the ball out because of the bad offensive line. Well, Saquon's been balling behind a poor offensive line. So we can't really use that same argument because I feel like, again, if the offensive line was better, how much better of a player could Saquon be? So,
but what do you mean by balling? He's getting thrown all over the place and stuck.
Because he's leading. He's third in yards in scrimmage this year.
What'd you say?
He's third in yards from scrimmage this year in terms of running back. So he's already got 500 plus yards rushing and 500 plus yards receiving. That's amazing for this kind of situation.
And it's amazing for the offensive line. But what they're doing is, listen, the guy, those stats are misleading in that he is getting hit for losses so quickly. And luckily, because he's got these thick thighs and these thick legs, that it's taken multiple receivers to get him down. I only seen once where like the first linebacker or cornerback, whoever it was, took him down, right away. That's it. So he's hoping to break. He's hoping to have one defender break that tackle, which he seems to be doing every time, unless they gang tackle him, and then get open grass and go. So it's deceiving because you watch these games and you see it's stop for a loss, stop for a loss, stop for a loss, 25. Stop for a loss, 25. And the touchdown he had on Monday night was from a throw. So I'm glad that you added the 500 and 500. But these stats are more of a testament to a future Hall of Fame back than they are to the offensive line. And, if a running back can break, through the middle or to the side, then after he breaks, the offensive line, isn't really in the picture. But when Eli gets the ball, the offensive line is in the picture the entire time until he gets rid of it, But let's go through some stats real quick, and I'm gonna run them down quick, okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, with Eli, and then we got to get moving because we're not gonna come to a common ground on this one. First of all, I think you're nuts, and I known you a very long time. We've been friends a very long time, but this one hurts my heart.
All right. Really well, we can make a whole show about this next week, man. We can keep this going.
This hurts my heart.
I'll tell you what.
Patrick Mahomes is better than Eli right now.
Correct. Wow. Listen, why don't we do this next show?
You would get laughed out of any NFL room talking that nonsense like that.
Let's do this. Next week we'll do Eli, and we'll do your other guy, Melo. We'll do an Eli Melo show.
Oh, we're doing Melo today. Okay,
we're not doing Melo today.
No, just on the move. Just on the move. Just on the crap that happened. We have to because it's so relevant. Whereas the Melo historical. All right, let me ask you this: is Melo a Hall of Famer? Yes or no? You got to say it.
All right.
You got to say it.
I'm going to say yes, but I'm also going to say no to the first ballot.
Oh, he's getting in first ballot. You know why? They include college.
I know, and that's
I think it's dumb.
It's the Collegiate Basketball Hall of Fame. It's Basketball Hall of Fame, whether it's just collegiate, women's, etc.
Because of Syracuse.
Yeah, and then he's also got 3 Olympic medals, and Olympic Melo is.
He's got 3.
He's got 3 gold. Yeah.
He's got 3.
Yeah, I think he's one of the few to have that.
So he must have won.
He did Brazil, the one before that.
No, dude, he's got 2.
No, I'm pretty sure Melo's got 3. That's part of his legacy.
All right, 04 was the team that lost. So you're telling me he played in 2016?
Yeah.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, in Brazil.
Wow, then I give him credit because he was very old to be playing there.
I know, and that was the thing, right? It was like the Knicks were kind of hoping that they were going to get that same Carmelo who was playing the Olympics. He played very well that year.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right. This is what started Hoodie Melo.
Hoodie Melo, that's right. That's
started
right.
Hoodie Melo. If he was in 2K, he'd be a 99. Okay, so listen, Eli's got the most fourth quarter touchdown passes in a season with 15. What's going on there? Don't tell me it's another Airbnb.
No, it's not. It's not. It's too loud?
I heard some. What's wifey doing?
Okay.
I heard some dishes or something.
It's loud, babe.
What is she doing?
I guess I have no clue right now.
That's why
I tried to do the show earlier.
By the way, you can don't worry, we'll be off soon. By the way, you can introduce your dog on the next show. That's okay.
Right. I'll get him on camera next time. We'll get him some airtime,
Earl's got a very nice looking dog. Oh, what'd you say?
I don't know. I'm hearing talking in the other room. I'm sure we could. Yeah.
Okay. Let's get back here. Okay, so
anyways,
he's got the most game-winning drives in a season with 8. He's got the most road wins in a single season and postseason with 11. He's got the most road playoff wins ever with 5. He's got the most consecutive completions to begin a Super Bowl with 9. But that's neither here nor there. I shouldn't even have wrote that one down. Mm-hmm. He's got most passing yards in a single postseason with 1,219. Most completions in a single postseason with 106. Of course, which we've discussed, he's the active leader in most consecutive starts in history. And he's in the 202 club. One of only 6 quarterbacks. The other ones are Brady, Elway, Montana, Bradshaw, and Roethlisberger to have 200 plus TD passes and 2 Super Bowls. And then on that list, of course, he's one of only 5, which we talked about before. It's still same names pretty much, but Bradshaw, Brady, Montana, and Starr to have 2 Super Bowl MVPs. And he's top 10 in touchdowns and yards, which I think is 7 and 9, 7 for 1 and 9 for the other. Doesn't matter. Top 10. The guy is a Hall of Famer, dude. Period. He's a Hall of Famer, and he's a great quarterback.
I'm exhausted on this issue. I like I said, I want to expand on this because again, there's a lot of different angles you can look at because I look at consistency is a big thing. And
you just murdered yourself in consistency by
consistency is a big thing. Okay,
by so running off.
He's a leader in terms of starts with the quarterback and second.
No, forget. Well, consistency. Listen. Yes,
consistency. And how many interceptions?
At 2. Listen, that's another place you don't want to go. Okay, that's another place you don't want to go. He had several years of 30 touchdowns to 14 interceptions. He's had plenty of years like that. Eli had 2 to 3 years max. I would say 2 of the crazy interceptions, which was that year after the Super Bowl year. The year that it was ridiculous. The 0-6 year to start the season, or 0-7, something like that. And then they won their first game against Minnesota, which was a Monday night game. And then another season. Then he started learning, hey, I gotta throw the ball away. I gotta, listen, touchdowns, interceptions, you don't want to go there. And you already embarrassed yourself with the records. With his season records, which you said 8 straight losing seasons. I let you run off the numbers and bury yourself. So
yeah, no, I mean, okay, so it's just okay. So you had the playoff run a couple seasons ago, but you can't tell me those last few years beyond that were light years.
The franchise was rebuilding. What do you want him to do? I mean, this is going to be another season. Listen, you traded off. You traded off. Actually, probably your second best corner, I would say. He actually was having a very good season, a bounce back season in Eli Apple, and you traded off, and you didn't bring back pieces. You brought back draft picks. You also traded off your number 1 run stopper in Snacks Harrison. It's rebuilding. When you trade off those pieces, losses are coming. They can't say yes, we're tanking. Can they say that? No. But we all know what they're doing. We all know what they were doing last year. That's it. But let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
As we're on the NFL, let's get to picks. Now, this is what I want to put you on the spot on. Okay. And that's why when you were I told you to told me you're getting your picks ready before the show, I was like, okay, he's about to get a monkey wrench thrown.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Let's, from now on, not just do picks. What is she making over there? A cocktail?
I don't know. You can hear everything, huh?
Yeah. What is she making? A rum and coke? Wifey's getting it popping over there.
Yeah. So.
But listen, Zoe has been on the show so much, she's gonna have to show her face at some point.
I know, seriously. I try to get a couple hours here, but it's tough. Get some quiet here.
Oh my gosh! Now she's washing pots and pans. Tell her to sit down. I'm kidding. I don't want to. Yeah. I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to get hurt when I come visit you.
I know, seriously.
Yeah.
Oh no!
I heard that. I'm making him a really nice dinner.
Ooh, okay.
All right, dude.
Earl, you getting hooked up?
Anyways,
you getting hooked up?
I'm annoyed, so let's keep going.
All right. I saw it in your face. I'm moving on. Okay, so now, from now on, you're not annoyed at me, right? You're not annoyed at me, right?
No.
Okay. Okay.
No, not you.
Okay.
You're good.
Okay.
We're good. Everybody's good.
Let's not just do picks. Let's do picks with the point spread. Oh,
okay. All right. Oh, we're doing that. Let's do that for next week. Let's
go.
No. No, I mean, no. All right. No, okay.
All right, you're right.
Go ahead. If you have the lines up, let's do it.
I have the lines.
All right, let's do it.
That's what I was when I told you I was preparing. When I was preparing for the show, that's what I was doing. I was writing. I was getting the lines.
So let's go ahead then.
Let's do it on the spot. All right. Okay. So we have Dallas at Atlanta. Atlanta is a 3.5 point favorite. I have the ATL. Dallas did have a big win, but I got the ATL.
So you're gonna take that. You're gonna take the 3.5 points to say Atlanta wins.
I'm gonna take the 3.5 points. Ooh, Earl's getting serious. He got the blue marker out.
I got the marker. I'm gonna say the Cowboys cover that line.
Okay.
They're just both of those teams are weird teams. They're really not doing a great job on. I get Atlanta's home in this instance, so you can probably say the home team's gonna win. This Cowboys team is so unpredictable. I can see them winning down in Atlanta.
They are unpredictable, but I have man, I got ATL here, man. I'm loving how they're playing. They're making a push, dude. They're making a push. They're trying. Matt Ryan, he's ready to air it out, man.
Yeah.
No, he's just incredible to me. He's incredible to me. And I know you talk Phillip Rivers, and I said I think Phillip Rivers will make the Hall of Fame and is a Hall of Famer, but Matt Ryan, he's the real deal, man. I don't know what he was doing in that Super Bowl, but I would have been handing the ball off, but that's a whole other story. Okay, Panthers at Lions. Panthers again, 4 points. I'm rolling with Cam. Who you got? Cam Newton, by the way.
They're a minus 12, basically.
With my Panthers. No. They're 4 point favorites.
Oh, 4 point favorites. Ooh, I thought you said plus 12 or minus 12.
Oh, no. I would be Lions all day.
Dude, this Lions team is unpredictable as well, too. Another team that just really can't figure it out. Defense is a mess right now. Matt Patricia's still a new coach. I'm gonna go with Panthers on this one.
Okay. I'm gonna fill in the picks later when I do the rebroadcast, so we can move even quicker. Tennessee, I might want to put the camera on me. Okay, so Tennessee at the Colts. Woo! I really want to see this game. Colts are 2 point favorites. Andrew Luck is playing like what I said he can be. If you give him an offensive line. Oh, I turned your mic off.
Or I think that was me.
Oh, that was you?
Did I do that?
I don't know. I don't even know if I could do it from here. I think I would have to. Yeah, it might have been me. I don't know. Who knows? I think it was you by accident, but
yeah,
I'm blaming you. So I got Andrew Luck in the Colts, 2 point favorites. Who you got?
I say that the Titans actually beat the spread. Yeah, that's a nice little. That line is tight. I'm gonna go Colts cover the spread.
Okay. I'm going for the Colts, man. Yeah. They can really make a push now. They bolstered that line, and Luck's not getting killed and thrown all over the place.
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is, Andrew Luck, right? He's starting to look a lot better in terms of just looking a lot more comfortable in the pocket, honestly, right? Like the ability for him to stand back there and not worry about the shoulder is a huge relief on him.
Yeah. So now we'll move on to the Giants now. Tampa is going to be in East Rutherford as a 1.5 point favorite. Fitzmagic is in town.
Wow. Oh,
they're going to start Fitzpatrick.
And
no,
Tampa
1.5. Tampa 1.5. I'm calling the Giants, man. I think the Giants are going to win this one, and then we got the Philly matchup. Dude, I'm going Giants 2 games in a row.
I agree, and it's actually probably in our best interest not to win, but I think a couple of wins is totally fine. They're not going to get the first pick because I think the Raiders are the worst team in the league at this point.
Raiders,
so they're not really in line to get those first couple of picks. I'm going to go with Giants covering that.
Okay.
Or beating that spread. Excuse me.
Speaking of the Giants, with that Eli debate, I'm telling you, Earl, I was about to quit I was about to quit the broadcast.
Listen, I'm gonna be better prepared with the quotes and the notes that I have in terms of what I see from Eli. So you can go ahead and pick those stats out of the hat. Like those look great and everything, but again, when you really get down to the nitty gritty, there's a lot that's just not there.
Facts upon facts upon facts.
Okay.
Can't rewrite history, baby.
Let's go.
Earl, man, you're the best, man.
God,
I love talking sports with you, man.
This is fun, man.
It's absolutely it's so fun, dude. It really is, and
I love it.
It's the fact that we actually care. We put in the time. We put in the work. I'm still sweating. I think the hat's gonna have to come off, man, to finish the show. I'm telling you, man. It's getting bad over here. My blood is boiling. Son.
Love it.
I've calmed down though. Okay. Texans at the Redskins. Texans are favored by 3. I have the Redskins here, and that will also set up for a great matchup against the Cowboys that's coming up.
Okay.
But I have the Redskins here. Who do you have? I have the Redskins covering the 3.
I have the Texans winning this one. I really do think that Deshaun Watson is really starting to get his groove back, starting to really separate himself from that injury that he had last year, kind of really being a lot more confident in being able to step into his throws and just kind of find his weapons. And we look at the addition of Demaryius Thomas and DeAndre Hopkins and their tight end that they've really kind of developed in the chemistry has developed in the last few weeks. The Texans are a hot team, and I think they're going to probably run off a good, string of games where they can probably win out, and I think they're going to win the AFC South. So I'm going to go with Texans here.
When you say win out, what do you mean?
I think they're going to win all their games for the remainder of the season. I just look at their schedule. I don't have it in front of me, but I've looked up their schedule, and I think they have a pretty soft schedule going forward. So,
okay, I gotta check their schedule out. Now this one's a pick'em.
Ooh.
It's Cincinnati at Baltimore. You already know my opinion on Andy Dalton. I don't like him. I don't like anything about him. He does nothing for me. And I've seen him do nothing but just falter when the games are on the line. Okay. And the Baltimore defense is everything they were advertised. I'm going Baltimore definitely in a pick'em at home.
So this is interesting. They just fired the coach last week. Harbaugh's out. I'm starting to hear rumors that Lamar Jackson could potentially be starting or playing in this game, because there's a new coach and they're kind of curious to see what they have. Because Joe Flacco's in his last year, they might actually move on. I don't think you can go ahead and pay him some, big time money anymore. I think Joe Flacco is the same kind of guy as well, too, that kind of needs those parts around him. Great defense, etc. See, he won at the correct time. He won that Super Bowl in his contract year. And of course the Ravens had to pay him. There was no doubt in their mind.
And he didn't throw any intos that entire postseason. Isn't that amazing?
I get it. Yeah.
And while I'm at it too, Eli's the only quarterback to have back-to-back championship games with no Intos thrown. Just throwing that out there.
Okay. Well, we'll put that in another feather in his cap, I guess. Right? Is that what you want for him?
Well, just another unimportant stat compiling thing, right?
Okay. Okay. They said numbers don't lie, man. I know. I can tell you that it's otherwise sometimes from what I've seen.
I think you're crazy.
Okay. So I'm gonna pick Bengals on this one. Excuse me.
Oh, you're going Bengals?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Bengals on this one, right? Because it's a pick 'em, right?
It is a pick 'em.
Yeah.
All right, I like that. That's gonna be a winner for me. I like this. Starting to like it. Okay, so I have the Texans schedule. They have, after the Redskins, they have the Titans, so definitely not an easy game. They have the Browns. They have the Colts, the Jets, the Eagles, and the Jaguars. So it looks like they can beat the Jags. They can beat the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they can beat the Colts, but I don't know.
Depending on where the game is.
I got to see, but I don't think it's light. Eagles and Jets that's light. Yeah. Jets is light. We'll see. I don't think they'll win out, but we'll see. All right, now we go to the 405s.
Okay.
Oakland is at Arizona. I'm laughing because this dude, my gosh, Gruden, man, he's throwing everybody under the bus to save his behind because he traded Khalil Mack.
Well, listen, he knows, and he's somewhat correct, right? He knows that in order to build this team, he can't pay a linebacker like the amount of money that the Bears just paid them, because there's a lot of holes on this team. And I know this is a playoff team a couple of years ago, but with football, you gotta reload the clip, so to speak. You can't just have the same weapons because there's a lot of injuries. You gotta get new bodies in there, and if you're missing on draft picks like they have the last 3 years, you're gonna have some issues building a team.
And just what you said about draft picks, they fleeced the Cowboys with Cooper.
Oh, absolutely. Especially when you look at what the Texans paid for Demaryius Thomas. I think it was like a third rounder in a 2020 or 2022 pick. Oh, so way down the road.
Ooh, that was it, huh?
Yeah.
And what about Golden Tate? I think, what was that?
Yeah. Again, another example. So, and then the worst part is that the Cowboys are going to have to pay Cooper next year.
I would have rather took Golden Tate.
I agree.
Yeah, that's a steal deal. And Golden Tate has proved that he can play in big moments. He's a consistent player, something that Amari Cooper knows nothing about. And
believe it or not, you look at Golden Tate's number when he was with the Lions, he's up there and they're like, historic, wide receiver numbers. Like, I mean,
really?
He played with that team, 4 or 5 years, but you talk about Matthew Stafford throwing the ball to him. He was able to compile a lot of great numbers within those few seasons.
And oh wow, okay, yeah, okay, Tate. Yeah. And on top of that, I don't, Calvin Johnson was. I don't know if he was always those last few years, man. He was injured. Now he just wasn't the same. And still Tate was putting up those numbers, but you still have to honor Calvin. So that obviously helped him out. Okay, we have Denver at the Chargers. They're giving the Chargers 7 points. Man.
At Denver?
No, it's in LA.
It's in LA.
I'm gonna go Denver here. What do you got?
Wow. I see no reason to go Denver to cover. I think Case Keenum has just been below average. He kind of is who he thought he was all this time, but he just had a really good season in Minnesota. Chargers have been hot, man. It's kind of weird to see them kind of winning these late season games because, like in the last few years, they've kind of always had this collapse, so to speak. But they're 7-2 right now. I see them covering. I see them winning. I actually see them winning by multiple touchdowns, honestly.
No, you're probably right, but I always like to have one that because we see it all the time where these teams, just what you said, they're on a roll, and these teams take other teams lightly, especially ones coming into the building, and they have you
This is a
always
rivalry
see
game, though. These are guys that are in the same division. I don't think they're going to take the Broncos coming in lightly, and they know, it's going to be a heavy Denver crowd coming into LA. So it's going to be one of those weird games.
You make a good point there, and you're most likely going to win that one since you're going to lose the pick'em. All right, so I helped you even it out there. All right, so the Eagles at the Saints. Saints are getting 8. I wish that line was 7, but it still is in the dome. So I'm going Saints here. Who you got?
Yeah, I think that changes it where they're playing. Again, the Eagles are kind of a hard team to figure out. I think they are what their record says they are, right? They're a semi below 500 team this year. A lot of injuries. Just kind of the Super Bowl hangover, so to speak, is kind of dragging them back to reality, so to speak. But again, I wish the line wasn't 8, was 7. But even that, I still think I'm taking the Saints here because they're playing in the dome. And I think, like you said, the addition of Eli Apple on the defensive side, the defense is actually surprisingly playing really well this year. But not only that, Drew Brees is playing exceptionally well, MVP caliber season.
Oh yeah,
he really
absolutely.
His weapons are really starting to come together. So I'm going Saints here.
And they thought that the Peyton Breeze, Peyton means Sean Payton, Breeze, duo was going to be done last year, and New Orleans stuck with it, man. And so you're going with who now? You're going to definitely go Saints.
I'm going Saints. Going Saints here.
All right, so we're on the same page with that one. I don't think Philly is. I don't even think they're going to make the playoffs.
No.
All right,
which happens a lot. It happens a lot, right? Like these Super Bowl teams. I mean, sometimes it's just injuries. You're playing late in the season, and next year you just don't have it. But a lot of times, I really just think it's that Super Bowl hangover, and a lot of guys start getting contracts after they play in the Super Bowl, so you don't always have the same team together.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, and on top of that, you had. I mean, when does that happen? Where a backup quarterback takes over when the team is that good? What were they, like 14-2 or something like that?
Yeah.
And takes over that late and leads you, to a championship like Nick Foles did when Wentz went down. Now, Hostetler did do that when Phil Simms went down in 1991 against the Bills, but I mean, this stuff doesn't happen. But Hostetler was a much better quarterback than Nick Foles.
Yeah.
Hostetler was at one point in his career, a number one starter.
Right.
So now we have Minnesota at the Bears, and the Bears are getting 3. I'm going to go Minnesota here on the road. What do you got?
I'm going to say Minnesota covers that. I still think the Bears may win, but I'm going to say Minnesota covers.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if Khalil Mack wrecks the game, it's going to be over. But
he's just amazing.
He's absolutely amazing. Is he? But he was hurt, right? I think he might.
But I think he came back last week. Yeah. I think he's good.
That's what I thought. Okay, for the big one.
Monday night.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yep.
Okay. Who you got? You already know it's Chiefs at the Rams. Oh, now it's going to be in LA.
Mm-hmm.
So they moved it from Mexico because of the field
conditions.
They didn't want to. I mean, obviously, they had a week. They could have re-sod that field and redid it, but
I think that was the issue. Is that it's been used a lot. So the sod was just, it wasn't.
No, they could re-sod it. They have a week and it's NFL money. They just didn't want to pay for it. I also think that, come on, money. Think they throw money, of course. They could redo that field. But the other thing is they could redo that field in 3 days, let alone a week. But I think they're also ticked off that they let that you booked a concert and a soccer game so close to, especially knowing that they could rip up the field like that. I think the NFL is like, wait a second. It's a privilege for you to have us.
Mm-hmm.
We're coming in there. You should be respecting us, you disrespected us. We had to show a video of that field last Monday, which when that video came up, I was like, that's the field? Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It looked really bad. It looked unsafe, honestly.
Yeah. And it was funny that they were showing that because it was unsafe conditions in the Giants game with Saquon slipping and Beckham slipping on plays. And so, you know, they showed that like, wait a second, that look worse. You know, and I think that they were more disrespecting than like, wait a second, then we have to pay to redo it. So it's going to be in LA now with the Rams getting 2.5. All right, the quarterback. Okay, so now I got to think about this as a quarterback that's better than Eli. It's going to go
correct
into LA and face the Rams at 2.5. I guess I got to go cheat. It's Monday night. It's prime time.
Okay, it's
crunch time. Since Mahomes has showed you that he's a better crunch time quarterback than Eli, I guess this is light work for him. I got to go Chiefs. Now, kid, I was going Chiefs anyway, so I'm going.
Okay,
I'm
actually going in the opposite direction because I understand all the noise that I said about Mahomes, but again, with a line that tight and the Rams are at home, they have been playing really well, and they do have the better defense. I'm going with Rams on this one to cover that spread of 2.
Got a big question for you here.
Yes, sir.
Who's got the better coach?
Wow. Again, it's a smaller. It's really just a smaller sample size, so I can't really say McVay over Andy Reid. Andy Reid's been very successful in the NFL, but then also he's had a lot of mishaps in the postseason in terms of clock management, all those kind of issues. I think it's impressive what McVay's been able to do in the limited amount of time that he's had. Literally, it's night and day with this guy in terms of how he handles.
Right now, since we're not dealing with right now, who do you think's the better? Since we're not dealing with age, they're not on the field.
Sure.
Who do you think right now is the better coach? But everything that you just said was right. We're judging a season and a half off of Andy Reid's storied career.
Right.
You know what? When it came out of my mouth, I thought it was a very good question, and now that you broke that, but I can still tweak it right now, even with the I guess. Well, right now, even if you say it's tough. All right, let's move on. Okay, so you have the Rams, I have the Chiefs. Okay, so that concludes the picks, and we're gonna have some trash talking next week. Let me tell you, especially the comments that I made. All right, let's go quickly with Melo, his short stint in Houston. What is your opinion on that?
My opinions on Mr. Carmelo Anthony already.
Well, not his career. Just
I know. So I'm gonna keep it very brief. I thought it was a bad fit from the jump. Right? You really look at it, and it's like he's already had this beef with D'Antoni before. He's also had the issue being a spot-up 3-point shooter and somebody who doesn't thrive in that kind of a system. So I think from day one, you're talking about this was really not an ideal fit. So you're talking about the whole. You're looking at it from the outside in. I'm just looking at it. It's like, I don't think it was a good move from day one. Clearly, it has only lasted 10 days, I think, right? This is the 10th day that he was supposed to be on the Rockets. In the last 3 days or the last 3 games, he's had this mysterious illness, so to speak. And then it was.
Oh, we know what that was.
Right. And the reports are coming out like they're trying to save his Hall of Fame standing, and they're trying to release him the correct way and look for like a trade partner if possible, but they couldn't find one because nobody's willing to pay, the little bit of money that they're paying Melo.
We don't know yet. He hasn't been released yet, from what I know.
I think he's been released. I think it's official.
Oh, it's official. Wow.
I think it's official now.
So they determined in a day that the trade offers are so bad. Wow, that's crazy. And the guy's he's only making $2.4 million, and they couldn't trade him.
Yeah, but again, what system is he fitting into? Whose system is he fitting?
You know where he would actually fit, but Magic Johnson's too smart. Is LA, of course.
I don't think there's interest right now, but okay, is he coming off the bench?
That's what I'm saying. They're not. He's too smart. What do they need? They need 3-point shooting. You know what I mean?
He'll give you that though.
Huh? If he doesn't give you that, what is he giving you? That's his talent.
But what I'm telling you is he an elite enough player that you're going to take Melo, pick him up, and act and say you're going to fix our issue with the 3-point shooting on this team? I don't think he's that kind of a player that is a spot up shooter, and that's why it didn't work in the last 2 teams. It didn't work in Oklahoma City because of that. That's what they want him to do too, is be a catch and pop kind of guy. You know, sit there on top of the key or sit there in the corner, you catch it, you shoot it. That's just not him, and it never has been.
You know what though? You know what, man? I have to be honest here. I thought that Houston was a perfect fit. And I'm honest when I'm right, and I'm honest when I'm wrong. And I didn't have to admit this because I didn't say it on the show from my knowledge.
I don't think you did.
I thought he was a perfect fit because, first of all, for D'Antoni to accept him and have him come there, I thought that the issues were ironed out and they were on the same page. How the heck they were not on the same page before he got there, and knowing that history? I mean, that's the reason why D'Antoni quit the Knicks, is because he couldn't coach Melo.
Yeah.
So I thought, Melo is a perfect person for the D'Antoni system, though, when his shot is on. But I thought it was going to be a perfect fit because I thought he fit in there good with, you have Harden, you have Paul, you have Melo, and then you have your Eric Gordon, your Patterson, and your Capella. But I thought that this was established that he was going to be off the bench. I didn't think for a second that he was going to be starting. I thought you would have, when you have Harden and you have an old Paul, in that he can still play defense, but not like he used to. And why you would get rid of, Luke Baamute and Ariza is beyond me, because those are the
issue. That's what's missing from the team.
Yes. Yeah. And I don't know if Gerald Green is still there.
He's still there.
Okay, he's still there. So at least you have that defender there. But the reason that they were able to contend with almost beat the Warriors, being up in that series, and they lost Paul, and that was that. The reason being is because they had perimeter defenders along with an unstoppable scorer and an amazing point guard in Paul. Yeah. I thought Melo was going to give them what they didn't have, which was a wing 3-point shooters, because all their wing guys were defensive players with Eric Gordon. He's not a wing player. He's still a guard. Mm-hmm. That's what I thought that Melo was going to bring, a 6'8" 3-point shooter. And if you try to play up, he'll take you in and he'll slam it on you. You know he will. He will. He did.
I think the old Melo would. I just don't know if he has that quick first step like he does anymore. He's lost.
He doesn't. I saw it. He doesn't. But if he's hot, you have no choice. You have to step up, or you're going to take an L. Okay, because of the people around him. If you're talking about Melo being pretty much the 4th best player on the team. Mm-hmm. Because Eric Gordon was sensational last year. So if he's your 4th best guy, all he has to do is score and get a couple rebounds. Man, I thought it was going to be a perfect fit. But they didn't come to an agreement. He's coming off the bench. They had to find that out on the fly. No, they didn't work that out. That's the team's fault also.
Yeah. He was thinking of himself at a higher level than what we were seeing him at. And I think that was the major issue with this guy, right? It's like, you're no longer the go-to guy here. It's just, you can't be that person. And so I think it's frustrating, again, when you look at, how it broke down with the Knicks and how it's just his inability to kind of, I think, take better care of himself. I just don't think towards the end of his career, he doesn't treat his body like LeBron does, or even some of the other, top end players. He's never been that guy. And so this is like the manifestation of him not putting his full effort into developing himself as a top A1 player. So we're looking at this and we're saying, man, where do we go wrong? It's not, this is a situation where it's like, I love Melo. I was very happy to have him on the team, but it didn't work from the Knicks' perspective. And I know it wasn't just him, and maybe Amari wasn't the right guy to try to pair him with. And I get all that. But at the end of the day, he's not the kind of guy that can carry a team like as much as you would think that he could carry a team.
You're absolutely right. And I thought he was. Wow, we're agreeing on Melo. Yep. We are agreeing on Melo. Yeah, I thought so, everything you just said, but I thought he could be that one. I thought he could be, forget the Knicks day. Let's not look back. But I thought that he could be your number one. That's the crazy thing, because when he came to the Knicks, it wasn't a debate who the best player was on that team. It was Melo 1 and Stoudemire 2. Mm-hmm. And they were also, when you got to understand, when Melo came to the Knicks, people said the Knicks had the best forwards in the league.
I know, I get it.
And then when they got Tyson Chandler, he said they had the best front court in the league. I mean,
listen, yeah. Again, they had a couple of guys that were a little past their prime. Like you look at J Kidd that one year that they had, and it was a nice little playoff team.
Oh gosh, was he a leader though? He was the reason they made it to the playoffs.
I know. Yeah. But again, you look at the trajectory of Melo's career. The only success that he's had in the playoffs is with strong ball point guards. Chauncey Billups in Denver. He was paired with him. He needs a guy that's going to be like, no, Melo, I need you here. Or somebody's going to be like, I'm taking that ball out of your hand. I'm going to get you the spot that you need to. You don't. Are you
saying Westbrook isn't that point guard?
Not in the same mold as a J Kidd and a Chauncey Billups. I think of Westbrook as a scoring point guard. He's a better version of D Rose, but he's D Rose 2.0 in terms of what he does, right? His game is
great comparison
to the basket, being reckless, getting in the lane, taking those hard fouls, that's what his game is. So no, they're not the same point guard to me.
No, they're not. Then I totally agree with you. Just wanted to get Clarify. Your take on what, but I think Westbrook is still a good enough point guard where Melo should have been playing at his highest level with a guard like that, and having Paul George there. I mean, Melo disappointed me on OKC. Even a huge Melo fan like me couldn't defend him. Listen, I have a picture of Melo, shooting a jumper in a Knicks uniform in the wall of my bedroom, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much I love it. It's actually right next to my Eli picture. Not making it up, with Eli holding one of his Super Bowl trophies. One of his two, or was it
one of his two?
One of his two, or it might have been. He might be holding up the MVP trophy that only 4 of the quarterbacks have done in 50 years. But anyway,
those awards favor the offensive guys, but okay, sure.
Oh, really? Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
Those awards favor the quarterback, right?
Yeah, generally, yeah.
So how come it's only been done 4 times then?
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, it's
all right. Okay.
I don't care about the facts right now with Eli. I'm over that conversation.
He really disappointed me. And all right, so I got a Westbrook question for you.
Sure.
before we go to our final topic, which I can't wait to get into the juiciness. And since you're in the Bay Area, I can't wait to ask you about it. Okay, Earl, I'm putting you on the spot. Is what you just said about Westbrook being the I was about to say a name I shouldn't say because he's got 2 chips. But I will say he kind of reminds me of Isaiah Thomas. He actually really closely reminds me of Isaiah Thomas, but I can't use that example in Westbrook.
Well, Isaiah had better defense than what Westbrook plays.
Oh, gosh, he had an unbelievable team. Maybe we should take his chips away, right? I had to switch off of you because you look like your thing was messing up. We're not taking away Isaiah's abilities because of his defense, his team, right? You know,
right.
Now let me stop beating a dead horse, but now I have a real question for you here. Is what you said about Westbrook being D Rose like and being that type of point guard, is that the reason why he'll never win a championship? That's why I didn't want to use Isaiah as an example.
Yeah. I'll say this. I don't think Westbrook's an easy player to play with. I think what he really needs is I'll give you a better example than Rose.
Okay.
Generations AI, right? Same guy, little guy.
Repeat that because your video's getting real choppy. So just repeat that because of the audio.
With you. But basically what I was saying is that I think of him as our modern day kind of Allen Iverson, right? A small point guard, great with driving to the rim. You know, just again, we love watching him play. A lot of heart. Again, they don't have the same, ability to impact the game. Like, so for instance, Westbrook is the kind of guy that did the whole triple-double thing. AI wasn't really a guy that wasn't going to get, 10 rebounds a game. That just wasn't his game. He wasn't playing down and below on the blocks and all that. But I look at point guards, what you need to really have around them are guys that are great role players, guys that are going to be okay with kind of playing the secondary role because he's such a large presence in any locker room. That's just basically my whole idea about him.
Okay. We may have to cut this great point. We have to cut this broadcast because now your audio is coming in out of sync. So for the next broadcast, we're going to do a hard connect just to get by this Wi-Fi thing.
Okay.
But I'll say this: Westbrook did something that I thought I would never see in my lifetime, and that's average a triple-double and for a season. And he had some real triple-doubles that year. He had Magic Johnson, Oscar Robertson, LeBron triple-doubles, that season that he did that. And he's incredible, but I don't think he's ever going to win one. And, I got to say, it's hard to say it's – okay, is it his fault? It's hard to say. I think Westbrook needs to trust other shooters in opportune moments and not depend on himself because he's not that great of a shooter. He's more of a volume hot shooter. He has improved his 3-point shooting very much. But listen, Durant left OKC for one reason and one reason only. Westbrook did not pass the ball when he should pass the ball. And yes, he is averaging 10 assists, but a lot of these times they were like he had 8 assists in the first half. And he was obsessed with these stats and getting these stats by the end of the third and going over to there was all these reports that during that season he was running over to the scores table and asking how many assists he has and how many rebounds he has. That's not how you get your triple doubles. You play your game. You let the game come to you. You play the game possession by possession and let the numbers fall where they may. It's about winning and losing and recognizing mismatches and different things on both ends of the floor and working together as a team, not what is my numbers for tonight.
Yeah.
And that's what is going to hold that guy back. And Durant left. Simple answer. He thought that he can't win with him.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he left. They were up 3-1. They were up 3-1. And I don't agree with him leaving. But that's why he left.
Yeah.
And let's close it with, I want to get your I'm going to flip to you to see how your video, your video's back.
Okay.
Clear as day, man. Okay, so this was going to be the last topic as well. I'm going to save Zion for the next show.
Let's do that.
After he has another game, because I got a lot to say about this guy, and I think I'm a great evaluator of talent, and I want to watch another game of him. But let's say this: I've never DVR'd a college basketball game before.
Wow,
impressive! Right? And I've been DVRing this guy, so I want to talk to him. All right, so Draymond Green, Kevin Durant, big fight. Draymond did not pass to Durant. It was about 3.5 seconds or whatever on the clock. He runs up the floor, falls to the ground, loses the ball. They go to overtime, lose to the Clippers in overtime. The whole way, the best shooter in the league is calling for the ball and didn't get it. And big game shooter. Done it in the finals. Calling for the ball, doesn't touch it. In my opinion, that's like not giving Aaron Rodgers the ball to win the game for you in the fourth quarter.
Okay. So when I look at that play, I look at it as any play like the Warriors have had, right? Draymond's their point forward, so he brings the ball up. I understand with the timing on that clock right there, your ideal situation is that you want to get the ball in the hands of the shooter immediately. But I think this was a play that Draymond was bringing it off the floor and just so happened to slip, and that's really kind of caused him to not be able to pass
though. Short time.
I get it.
Gotta give it Durant.
I really don't think I don't think his intent in that situation was to say, you know what, screw you. I'm not passing it to you. I'm having an issue with you. That wasn't what happened. The blow up happened because maybe there was kind of some friction behind the scenes beyond that we just don't know. But you're starting to hear all these kind of conversations about what was discussed, right? You're hearing Draymond call him the B word. You hear him.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, you're hearing him. Yeah, supposedly you're hearing that he's telling Durant, like, we won without you. We don't need you. You got 1 foot out the door, 1 foot in, kind of a situation, just taking it to a whole nother level. And that's why it's just like, that's why they suspended him, because it is conduct detrimental to the team. Because they want to put the face to say that, like, dude, no, we're here for you. We want you back. We're going to get you. And the problem is that at the end of the day, they're not going to be able to pay all these guys. Draymond's up for a contract, and Clay and Durant right now. So who's getting paid? I think you keep Clay, or you can let Clay walk and say you want to sign Durant. But I think you want Clay, because Clay is totally fine with being the third facilitator on that team and kind of playing that low key. I don't need to be all about the me moment, and he's doing totally fine in the league.
Dude, I think Durant's got to take the pay cut. If he wants to come back, I think Durant's got to take the pay cut.
He already has, though. So that's what I'm saying. He's looking at it like this. He's got one more huge contract in him. He's got to go. He's already taken the pay cuts.
So you feel that Durant's got to leave?
I don't say he's got to. I think if he wants to maximize his prime years, and if he wants to maximize his ability to make the most money, which he should, because like I said, okay, yes, he's gotten paid. He's gotten paid good money. Like, nobody's saying that he's living on WIC now, but the whole difference is that you're talking about, okay, is he only making 25 million when he could be making closer to 40 million a season? Those are big numbers. That's a huge gap. And I think he's going to want to be the kind of guy that says, you know what, I've won a couple of chips now. Maybe he's going to win a third one. And I have the ability to kind of sit back, cool it, and play for a team that I want to, and maybe see if he can win one on his quote unquote own without having this team.
Boy, if they don't win this year, he's gone.
Yeah.
There is no excuse. LeBron is on a bum team right now.
Oh, it's not. Yeah, I think it's another one of these teams, right? I think the Sixers could easily come out of the East
now
and beat a team that can really like run with them if they can get another shooter.
I don't think Philly can't beat that team, man. I think listen, you know, we're talking 7-game series. I think it's too much inexperience. Now, Redick does give you, you know, Redick's a knockdown shooter. Joel Embiid will damage them inside. Simmons can't shoot, but he'll find people. You know, Simmons is unbelievable, but
I agree.
Hey, he does a lot of intangibles. He rebounds. Dude, I don't think they can beat that team. They got one more addition though. They got my gosh, how am I forgetting? They got a nice piece. What's his name from Denver? They got Wilson Chandler.
Right, yeah. And he's playing a lot of heavy minutes, big minutes, man.
Yeah, they shouldn't do that. They shouldn't do that with him. As we know as Knicks fans, he will break down.
Yeah.
They cannot play him a lot of minutes.
Yeah.
They got to tune it down and save him for the postseason. He's an incredible talent. Now,
postseason?
Huh?
You think postseason?
What do you mean?
You're seeing postseason in their near future?
Who, Philly?
Oh, excuse me. Oh, I was kidding. Yes. Philly, yes. Philly for sure.
Yeah, I was saying that they got him from, as you know he was on Denver, but listen, I didn't even know I saw the first Philly game that Chandler was there. I missed that during the offseason. But yes, Denver is really, dude, Denver's got talent, man.
I know.
As we were talking about on the last show that, they got that. Plus they have if Michael Porter Jr. can get up off the floor, we got, they can get him.
Well, I forgot, dude, I forgot about that. Honestly, they should just sit him down this whole year so he can get his back right?
I don't know if you can get it right. I mean, it's like, it's too tricky, man. You know what, too, though, what we forgot when we were discussing Denver, because we were talking about how good we like their guards and Harris and Murray. And of course their center and I always get it confused.
It's not Jokic, right? Is it Jokic?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because I get it confused with the Portland one. I don't know why.
Yeah, but it's Vujicic. I'm not even sure.
Jokic and Nurkic. I always forget those names. Of course, I know the players.
Yeah,
but I get it confused. It's just me every once in a while, But you know who we forgot that they have when we were discussing Denver last time? We forgot that they got Isaiah Thomas too.
I know. And he's not even healthy right now, right?
No, he's not. And he's never going to be the same. He's never going to be the same. I mean, the guy averaged 30 points one year. I mean, So in conclusion here, dude, that is not good at all. There is a visible crack in the foundation. When DeMarcus Cousins has to break up a fight, it's bad. It's bad. And he called him the B word. You know what I heard he said?
Let's hear it.
Now, it would have to be really heated. It did look heated. But this is something you shouldn't be saying on the sidelines or whatever. Apparently, he said you made this about your free agency,
right?
If you're gonna be, basically, and also apparently like we don't need you type stuff.
Right. And that was the whole thing, right? It's like we won without you. We can win without you. We won without you. We can still win without you. Which I don't. Honestly, I'm gonna say. If they don't have Durant, I think Cleveland wins 2 of those last 3.
Oh, right? Yeah. And well, that would mean. Oh, I got you. So they would lose 1. Yeah, it might be 1-1-1. You're right. Yeah, right. And you know what? They asked Draymond with the apology. He said, "I ain't apologizing for my actions." That's what he said. That's not a good response either. After suspension, that's terrible. I don't think it's going to be one of those situations where you don't realize how valuable he is till he's gone, and how you would even after the performance he put up in the finals last year, how you don't realize that you need him to beat LeBron. You're out of your mind.
He's a sharpshooter, man. Sharpshooter.
And the defense.
Yeah.
Okay. And in that game 3, that performance he put on, you don't think you need him? And he's got better pieces around him now than he did in Cleveland. And he had a bum team in Cleveland that he brought to the finals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, aside from Kevin Love. So, now, he's got guys he's got young guys out there, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's got Kuzma. He's got Ingram. He's got lengthy guys, exciting guys. He's got Lonzo Ball. So this is something we're going to monitor, but they also got blown out by Houston last night. The Melo-less Houston, which I know you're going to say that probably helped them.
That probably helped them. There's going to be some cohesiveness going forward. Some more parts playing defense.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. And you know what? Phil Jackson did one thing in New York that was great and said one thing in New York that was great. Porzingis. And the one thing he said was for this to be a championship team, we need Carmelo, but he needs to realize that there is another level of his game that we need him to get to win. And say what you want about Phil Jackson. He's now proven that he does not know how to evaluate young talent, and he cannot put a championship team together. He cannot even put a playoff team together. We've established that.
Yep.
But the one thing Phil Jackson has shown in his career is that he can evaluate great players and mesh them together and have them work together. Even great players who are lunatics, even one-dimensional players who are so instrumental in the cohesiveness of the team. I read his book, 11 Rings, and he talks about, one heart, one breath. And he made Ron Artest a champion. He made Dennis Rodman a champion with Jordan, which wasn't the greatest thing, with the tension they had. And he was able to coach those talents of Shaq and Kobe. Now, Melo didn't have that other player, really, because Stoudemire was always injured. But what he said about Melo was his evaluation of a great player, of a Hall of Fame player, and him knowing that other level he was talking about was Melo's passing, not defense. Put up an effort. We all know that. We're not saying to stand there. But he was talking about for them to win, it had to be one breath, one universe, one squad. And to do that, you have to trust your teammates. Like how we drill to Jordan, it's an equal opportunity offense. The triangle is equal opportunity. That's what the triangle is.
Right.
You have 5 players. Every player on that floor, if he's in the right position at the right time, has the best ability to score. Even a Dennis Rodman, even a Luke Longley. You have the best opportunity to score, even better than a great player. But it takes the whole. Melo, got to pass. Now it's too late. He's got a different game. If he's in the game, you just want him to shoot because he's so bad on defense. You just want him to shoot. Man. You want him to come off the bench, shoot, and get out there. Listen, it's sad to watch. I'll be honest with you. It is.
Yeah.
It is. So we'll wrap up here next week. A lot of trash talking with these NFL picks, man. we're gonna get into it, man.
I love to see it. I mean, this is a nice little angle with picking with the spread. So I like it. Let's keep it going for the remainder of the season. Let's see how we fare.
Yeah, and I wanted to put you on a damn spot. That's what I wanted to do.
I'm ready. I'm always ready and prepared, man. I'm here.
And I'm glad that you conceded and say, you know what? Screw it. I'll do the picks right now. I'll do it. We don't gotta wait till next week. I'm glad you did that. That's right. On the spot.
That's right.
All right, man. So we'll be next week.
That's right.
Unless something crazy happens.
Unless another crazy storm or fire gets closer to me, then we'll do a show next week.
Do something, man. We gotta do it for the games next week, and that's it. We have EnB signing off. Episode 5, many more to go. Hopefully, we'll get to that 5th subscriber, we just go from there. Years from now, we're gonna play these tapes and laugh.
I know when we have 10,000 viewers per show.
I know, man. All right, dude. So
all right, man.
See you next week.
We'll do this again next week.
That's right.
All right, brother.
Peace out.
Peace.